So, now we come down to our last race of 2023. It's DD2 and DD2 Masters, and it is the final on day 2. Let's have a look at your starting grid, and it's as follows. Enzo Bol starts from pole position. Alongside him will be Tom Bracken, very much on the cusp of taking this year's BNL Karting Series title, following in the footsteps of a multitude of drivers. Along behind them will be Maxime Dirix and Nicolas Guillaume, with David Maslakovic, Jules Cousin, Nikolai Christensen, and the man who's one step away from 4 titles in the same class, Karl Klebor. That's row 4. Jan Eckstein and Kian de Brandt, Dimitri Ostrovsky, Carl Gustav Borgard, Jori Klebor, Andreas Neumann, Kamil Kubera. Then we've got Dominic Hummels, Jan Frost, Lennart Schreiber and Nikita Genzer, who round out the grid. 20 drivers in all. Looks like Jan Frost hasn't taken the start, or might be starting from the dummy grid. So previous champions in DD2 include Mark Kimber, Glenn Van Parijs, Zana Schriblak, Barry Pullinger, Kevin Luddy. Remember that name back from the mid-2010s. Ferenc Kanzar from the UAE, Sean Babington, who's become a big-time driver coach. Zendra, Matthias de Tige also, one of 3 drivers that have become a 2-time DD2 champion. DD2 Masters, Karl Klebor, Danny Brand, Christoph Adams, Jim Ringelberg, who also runs a successful business in his own right, Ronald Billings, Rudy Champion, and last year Paul Louveau. Who's going to pick up the titles? Right here, right now, we go. Revs up, lights are out. And we're off and racing. Good start by Enzo Bol as he leads the field into turns 1 and 2. And the way things stand, that Bracken has got enough of an advantage coming into this final race of the season. And it will be literally a handful of points. Karl Klebor has just got to basically finish, and he's done exactly what he needed to do. Win a 4th title in the BNL Karting Series. He's also a previous Rotax Belgian Max Challenge champion. If anyone might remember, well, Karl actually took the ticket from the BNL as opposed to BMC. But Tom Bracken now finds himself behind Maxime Dirix. So change for what is now 2nd position. But Enzo Bol and Tom Bracken, if they stay exactly where they are, they'll be fine. Oh, David Maslakovic decides to fire it up the inside of Jules Cousin, and then turns the steering wheel hard left hand down to cut across the front bumper. And oh, Nicolas Guillaume, oh dearie me, Nicolas Guillaume decides to send it up the inside of Tom Bracken. That's only a point reduction there for the youngster. Oh, it's getting a bit hard and fast out there. Nicolas Guillaume causing a bit of a tailback. It's a bit like a tailback on the M25 at the minute. It's the Uno Mas train at that time. But he's got the likes of Maslakovic, Cousin, Karl Klebor leading the way. He's on looking to get his 2nd victory of the season. He's only had one earlier on this year, and that was yesterday at the pre-final. So 19 runners and riders. Look at the train of DD2 and DD2 Masters from 3rd backwards. So that's being led by Bracken with the likes of the following: Guillaume, Maslakovic, Cousin, de Brandt, Klebor, Borgard, Christensen, Schreiber, Eckstein, Ostrovsky, Jori Klebor, Genzer, Neumann, Hummels, Kubera and Dolizal. And there is Nikolai Christensen looking up the inside of Lennart Schreiber. They are side by side heading into turn 7. And who made it through? It was the Dane, the 508, who was our BNL kickoff champion. So 12 minutes and 15 seconds plus an additional lap still remaining on the cards for this race weekend here at Karting Genk. So there is still things that could happen. Now I'm looking at it now. For those wondering how I'm calculating the drop scores, well, I spent about 2 weeks collating a spreadsheet, and that is being used right here, right now. So considering the fact that a championship in the beginning, oh, right, big drama. Now, was that Carl Gustav Borgard I saw exit stage right off of turn 9? I think that might have been the case. So the Dane not having a good one there, I'm afraid. Might have just picked up a little bit of contact. Yes, he did get touched. He did get touched. I think it was Nikita Genza that went up the inside of him and hit him quite hard on that one. So that just goes to show someone goes for a robust move and it doesn't always pay off, and that's exactly the proof of the pudding right there. 10 minutes and 50 seconds still to go, plus an additional lap towards the end of what has been our 16th season. And in 9 weeks' time, the floodlights will be on amidst the sounds of the Persian Gulf for the 23rd running of the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals at the Bahrain International Karting Circuit between December 2nd and 9th. Of course, there is an opportunity for Micro and Minimax drivers to enter this year's Rotax Max Challenge Grand Festival, and also for all the other Rotax racing classes to enter the Golden Trophy. So there is Maxime. Oh, Maxime Dedix is definitely closing on in. This could be an interesting one. Now, Maxime Dedix this year, Yannick, I know you're listening and watching as well, and I know that his dad's been on the edge of his seat at the minute. Maxime Dedix has not had a race victory this season. His best scores were second place. Well, his best weekend overall was actually round 3 at Ostercourt. 3 second places and a 4th. Now he's gunning for the W, and he's 7 tenths behind Enzo Boll, who just has gone under 55 seconds. 54.952 for the young man from the Netherlands. But Tom Bracken is now 1.3 seconds behind. Now, the thing is, even if Nicolas Guillaume passes Tom Bracken, I can tell you this, by my predicted calculations, Tom Bracken does not need to finish in 3rd. He can finish in 4th and he'll still pick up the title by a couple of points. If he finishes 6th or lower, he's out. As in, but the thing is, Enzo Boll, let's not forget, has got his ticket for Team Netherlands. Tom Bracken has been waiting a lot longer to get his. So with 8 minutes and 23 seconds left on the timer, plus an additional lap, a little bit of argy-bargy between. There is Lennart Schreiber in the 5-2-4, battling away with Jules Cousin. They have got, who's that behind? Kian de Brandt running in 8th position. Oh, nice lunge there from Lennart Schreiber up the inside of Jules Cousin to take the position away from the Frenchman into turn 7 off of the Europlan. Neatly done there, good sir. Well done. Nicely played. Nikita Genza now the fastest driver out on circuit. With a 54 point... Well, I was just about to say Nikita Genza's lap time, but Enzo Boll, you cheeky little scamp, has just thrown a spanner in the works with that one. He's just gone quickest, 54.585. for the youngster from the Netherlands. Still 0.683 ahead of Maxim Dirix, who rounds out the top two. Tom Bracken, Nicolas Guillaume, David Maslakovic, Lennart Schreiber now leading the way. And I think Karl Killebor has decided, I'm going to have a drive around in the countryside. I don't need to win. I know I've got enough of a gap at this moment to facilitate the fact that he is set to join the Red Devils once again. And even if Nikolai Christensen passes him, it's only going to be a handful of points. It's only going to be like an additional 2 points taken away from Karl. But Tom Bracken just is probably being instructed by the team at SP. Now keep calm. You got this. You're third. You're in the right place at the right time. Now looking back at the scores. So Tom Bracken's worst scores. Round one, day one at Genk in the final, 46 points. And then at round two at Marienburg in the final on day two, 44 points. So that's two scores worth 90 points deducted from his tally. So on points, Enzo Boll is ahead before drop scores. Then you take into account the drop scores that Enzo Boll has had. His lowest two scores, the pre-final at Marienburg on day one, 49 points. 45 points. Then you got the 49 at Ostricourt in race one. That's the day one pre-final. That, by my calculation, makes it 94 points. So with 835 to his credit, it suddenly becomes 741. So with 5 minutes to go, there is Nicolas Guillaume, who's closing in on Tom Bracken. And Tom Bracken just bringing it home. That's all he needs to do. Karl Killebor using exactly the same modus operandi, the same parameters to make that happen. But even if Tom Bracken gets passed by Nicolas Guillaume, who's really had a great second half of the season. Guillaume actually got a third and a second at Ostricourt on day one. And this weekend he's been running consistently at the sharper end of the 13-strong grid. And we are on lap number 13 of this race with 3 minutes and 40 still to go. But Enzo Boll is leading the way by a country mile. It's like he's running as quickly as he can back home. And he's capping off what is pretty much a perfect weekend in the office. Maxim Dirix 1.9 seconds behind. Not going to catch him up by the end of this race, as we got 2 minutes and a quarter still to go until the final checkered flag of the season, where we close the chapter here at the home of champions. Tom Bracken exactly where he needs to be, in third, and very much on course for taking a title in the B&L Karting Series for the first time. And I remember being there. That's the first time I came across this young man from the local area, winning as a Micromax driver back in 2018, after the likes of Lucas Schoenmakers, Thomas Martins, the ginger one who's now gone on to rallying, Doy de Decker, now with Rocket British F4 these years. Tommy van der Soys, who's still part of the paddock and gets taller every time I see him. Max Swiderski, Tom Pappenberg and Sten Lindemann. They have been Micromax champions in the past. But we have just 3 laps to go, including this one, to cap off what has been an enthralling, captivating, exciting and dramatic 2023 season. So Enzo Boll makes his way through into turn number 11 for what will be the penultimate time of this race, but also the penultimate lap of this season. We've had so many people join us here, several hundred drivers, multiple different nationalities. There's no point counting them, because every single one of them have been welcomed with open arms to this championship, no matter your colour, your creed, your religious beliefs. But the fact that you love motorsport, you love karting. But there has been a change a little bit further back, because I've just spotted that Nicolas Guillaume has just done a number on Tom Bracken. But that's not going to be enough for Enzo Boll to take the title. So the timer expires for the final time in 2023. The last lap board is first seen by Enzo Boll on this final tour of this 1,360-metre circuit. Maxime Dirix, Tom Bracken, Nicolas Guillaume, David Maslakovic, Lennart Schreiber leading the way in DD2 Masters. Jules Cousin, Kian de Brandt, Nikolai Christensen and Carl Klebor. They round out the top 10. With Nikita Genza, Jan Eckstein, Jordi Klebor, Dominic Hummels won't get a title in the B&L this year, I'm afraid. He's all the way down in 14th and currently sitting P4 in the running order of the class. Carl Gustav Borgard, Andreas Neumann, Kamil Kubera and Lukas Dolizal rounding out the 18 that still run. But one more corner remains. It's going to be close. It's going to be to a whisker. But Enzo Boll will come out of the final corner for the perfect race weekend. Second, Maxime Dirix. But look back. Look back. He's booked his place to the Red Devils, and he becomes the 2023 DD2 champion. It's Tom Bracken. And we wait 4 times the charm for Carl Klebor. De Backer does it again. He's a 4-time DD2 Masters B&L Karting Series champion. Take a bow, Tom Bracken and Carl Klebor, champions of the B&L, thereby ending the chapter after what has been a long season. Enzo Boll takes the victory and wraps up a clean sweep after 2 pole positions, 2 pre-final victories and 2 wins in finals. Maxime Dirix takes second. Tom Bracken, by my calculation, has secured the title by a couple of points. Nicolas Guillaume, David Maslakovic, they ran at the top 5. Lennart Schreiber, Kian de Brandt, Jules Cousin, Nikolai Christensen, and provisionally, I know it's going to be a fact because he's got enough of a gap with 36 points. Carl Klebor becomes your 2023 B&L Karting Series DD2 Masters champion. Nikita Genza, Jan Eckstein, Jordi Klebor, Dominic Hummels, Carl Gustav Borgard, Andreas Neumann, Kamil Kubera and Lukas Dolezal round out the 18 that finished. Jan Frost not taking the start and Dmitry Ostrovsky retiring on lap number 13.